was only a part of my wildest dreams, yet it still happened. We're back on the Chapter 2 island. It's a little vandalized and only Season 2. I was hoping for the first 3 authentic seasons, but we got what we got and we got a month to enjoy it. I will be dropping the Doggpound, formerly the agency, in the very center of the island 100 times. What used to be Midas's spot is now Snoop Dogg's place. However, he still has the super overpowered mythic drum gun, which I'll riddle my opponents with if I ever walk out of this place alive. The Doggpound is, without competition, the biggest hot drop every single game, so it's always a challenge. Nothing has changed, even after 4.5 years. Game 3, I got a hold of the drum gun and vault keycards for the first time. Old vaults are also back, of course. I tried to open it around chaos and gunshots, which was not a good idea. Apart from all the players, there's also a bunch of henchmen at the POI, but players can also disguise themselves as henchmen, which can often be tricky. Most of all the players drop directly at the top of the Doggpound, and if you quickly pick up the best gun up here, you can rack up some serious casualties. But if you find a gray pistol and green scoped AR, you're probably doomed. If you kill Snoop Dogg personally, apart from his items, he will also join your team as an NPC, just like all the other bosses. He can heal you with chug splashes, throw sting bombs at opponents, and even shoot them with his own mythic drum gun. But he's not very good at either of those things, and mostly just attracts unwanted attention. And even if it looks like the place is clear, there's a bunch of players rotating in from neighboring locations that are out to get you. The Doggpound is also filled with air vents. Fights were always super awkward in those. And as much as I hate Remix for its collabs, the Snoop Dogg Biggie Bombs are really fun. This time I ran off as soon as I found the mythic drum gun and left the Doggpound for the first time in this video, but I didn't make it too far, just Weeping Woods. Most of the games will totally be just deaths upon landing. Don't even try to get your hopes up, you'll be disappointed. I already know, if I can get just like 2-3 wins, game 100 I'll die a happy man. Game 11, I managed to win the place. You don't need to kill 15 people, you just need to kill the guy with 15 kills. I got a gold pump from those bots, that was very deserved. All the new guns are okay and all, you know, but Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 guns always make me just so much more comfortable. This guy tried to land directly on my head, but I erased him before he had a chance to do anything. I picked up his mythic boom bow and regretted it right after I hit this guy straight in the eye for 15 damage. Don't know if this was a bug or something, but I don't care. I'm never picking it up again. Come on, land. Oh, I stole it! Oh. The background tune that plays here is surprisingly chill. If only the place was this relaxed itself. I don't even know how I escaped the off-landing mess this time, but death found me eventually. Game 15, I found the great hack early and picked up some kills with it before I got shot while disguising in the henchman booth. Of course, trying to disguise in a Doggpound full of people can be risky because you can't move for 3 seconds, but there are many benefits like opening henchman doors and chests, being unnoticed by henchmen and turrets, and also confusing other players. If you're not careful, you can pretty easily fall from the roof all the way down. I have personal experience. Originally, I was planning to make at least 200 or 300 drops from Chapter 2 OG and then quit Fortnite. This season was supposed to be my goodbye and last dance. However, they just announced Authentic Chapter 1 OG is coming as a permanent mode with all 10 seasons, which is something I just can't ignore. So it looks like Fortnite successfully postponed my retirement again, but it also means this will be the one and only Chapter 200 drops I make. Chapter 1 is just a bigger priority. That means we got 80 more games on this map, and I will make the absolute most of them. I was gliding a little behind this time, and you can really see just how many people land here every single game. I counted 14 just on my screen right now, and that's definitely not everyone. I fought a bunch of people, but killed nobody, and then found Snoop Dogg weak and alone. This guy came over all the way from the yacht, and I probably would have taken the Mythic AK if I had more time, but I was weak and someone else started pulling up in a car, so I grappled away. Look at this! Upgrade benches are back, and they should honestly replace the modern bar system with this, because it's absolutely atrocious. This is so much better. I avoided any more long build fights until the very end, when this Sky pushed me and got grounded with attack, and then this Eminem thought I was an easy elimination and got absolutely decimated with a pump and the drum gun. That's just old school weapon poetry. I was getting myself ready for the final showdown, but since I couldn't see anyone anywhere, I had a suspicion that, yep, the last player is the bot. Well, I got the win. Little anticlimactic, but still, it's the first one. If it's not your first time watching me, you know exactly how I feel about bots. Whosever idea at Epic it was to add them 5 years ago should be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Well, what do we have here? John Wick ain't too slick with it. I got edited on from a cone while fighting Snoop Dogg. Guess that's fair. Leaving the Doggpound with the mythic drum gun, ideally after looting the vault, is insanely hard to come by. It's really giving me a hard time. If I decide to, I could definitely just land here and leave immediately, but that kinda kills the purpose, and I'm also not sure how much bigger of a chance would I actually have. The Doggpound loot is truly a game changer. Game 31, I almost died very embarrassingly to my own grenade, but my opponent spared me from that. This is probably the most annoying type of death. Just landed, you go for a chest, get shredded in the back. Happens just way too often. Using boogie bombs is fun, just not when you accidentally boogie bomb yourself as well. This game I waited for someone to kill Snoop Dogg for me. This guy was jealous and tried to choke me in the vault, but I somehow got him, don't ask me how. Nah, I'm the owner here this game, bro. Don't get any ideas. A lot of people were doing some flying car glitch this season. I never really took interest in that. My only interest is winning, which doesn't mean I don't die a lot. I was never religious, but finding 2 great pistols and nothing else makes me emphasize with the peasants. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Yeah, it makes no difference. I got a legendary spaz from my first chest the next game and died immediately anyway. Why do I always have to land the biggest hot drops? Am I compensating for something? Game 42, Snoop Dogg absolutely lasered me and then tried to hug me. So I faked him and left him hanging and then got killed. I tried to jump the guy with the key card at the vault again the following game, but failed miserably. Got a couple kills and then came back again, just to find out he planted C4 next to the vault door. That's smart. I never thought of that. 2 fake henchmen meeting is always an awkward situation. This guy was committed and had auto run disabled. That's why he won. And this guy walked in on me while I was rearranging my inventory. Yeah, I know there's a setting for that, but I'm just old school. Game 46, I landed the Doggpound, left relatively early to wait out all the fighting, and came back to only contest the vault. Does this guy know I can see him? Does he know that? I tried to boogie bomb him, but he was quicker and almost got me. However, I was subsequently able to boogie bomb us both and walk into his Snoop Dogg's stink bomb to cancel the effect and eliminate him. In the action, I never said thank you to that Snoop Dogg, but I will never forget him. I left the Doggpound content and spent the rest of the game hiding in Weeping Woods. Weeping Woods is my comfort zone. Same with Wailing Woods in Chapter 1. They give me this sense of peace, security, no threat, 99% of the time there's nobody here, and you're hidden in between all those trees. No other place on the Fortnite map gives me this sort of feeling of safety, especially this western side of Weeping Woods, away from the cabin. I love it here. Last time I upgraded my attack I won, so let's see what happens now. The storm led me back to the Doggpound for the third time. It's like family gatherings, I keep coming back for some reason. I waited for everyone to kill each other on the edge of storm, and the moment it became a top 2, I grappled onto the final guy and finished him for my second victory royale. See? That was different than with a bot. I know I'm bad and gotta wait for the final guy to be freshly out of a fight, but that's not the point. Look at this guy, waiting behind the vent to jump me. Too bad his leg gave him away. I got Snoop Dogg, who had some disagreement with a henchman. I would have let it just between them to decide, but the henchman hit me as well, so I shut it down. I know I said Snoop Dogg's useless, but props to him, he did distract this guy. There were especially many bots running around this game. I pretty much just drove around taking them out. I once again didn't engage in the end game and just waited in my 1x1 tower while the other two players fought it out for the top 2. The circle went my way while they were still fighting. One of them didn't make it from the storm, and the other one was one shot, which means I got my third win from the Doggpound. Those 2 quick wins really changed the perspective. I'm already at 3 wins, with half of the game still in front of us. It definitely relieved a bit of pressure off of me, knowing that even if I totally blow the remaining games, this 100 drops isn't gonna be a disaster. Not that anything would happen, but I haven't gotten less than 3 wins yet, so it's kind of the standard. It seems like almost any time I land up top, I'm dead on the spot, but it's the Doggpound, you don't really get to choose, you usually just land on the first gun you see. Ooh, legendary rocket launcher. This should be good if I don't blow myself up with it. I always have that fear in the unconscious while using this thing. Not because it happens too often, it's just very infuriating and embarrassing when it does. At this stage, the very first update of Remix happened. One of the things that got added were choppas, which is especially important for me because one spawns directly at the Doggpound. So if no one steals it and I win the plays, I should have it to my disposal, like this game. To be honest, I really forgot how awkward it was to fight from a choppa, especially in solos. Switching seats and trying to shoot at someone is total pain, but I did explode this guy with it, so that's something. I opened this drop at Steamy Stacks. Yeah, normally I wouldn't show this, but Steamy Stacks is one of my favorite Chapter 2 places, and this is probably my only chance to include it. So I at least wanted you to see me fly by. I really wish we could be in Chapter 2 longer, so I could make 100 drops to at least some of those locations. And I'm really mad they didn't even attempt to do the flood for Season 3. That's what I was most excited for. Oh, I ran out of fuel. They did not need fuel when I used them last time. To anyone wondering, yes, you can refuel them at gas stations, but it's exactly as awkward as you can imagine. They didn't only add helicopters back in this update, but they also gave me competition. Until now, the mythic drum gun was easily the best weapon, but now that the Grotto and Eminem's minigun are in the game, well, I'll just let you see for yourself. Anyway, I'm still glad they added this first, cause what they did to the shark is an absolute disgrace. Game 58 I popped off, 3 kills is popping off, get over it. And then I spent the entire middle game chasing these 2 guys in cars around Salty and Risky. One of them drove off one shot, while the other one was doing this jumping car thing the entire time. It almost didn't pay off for him because I shot him out of the sky, but he just happened to be above water. Anyway, they both somehow survived, even though they should have been dead. Now, what's interesting is I made it to the top 5 when someone starts grappling onto me. And it's that first car guy who escaped. I hit him for like 100, and he decides it wasn't such a good idea to push me after all, and uses my car to escape from me again. That already tilted me enough, but it's whatever, I could walk. Then out of nowhere, someone tries to run me over, so I hop into the car, and he does that glitch to launch us into the storm and kill us both. You know who that guy was? You're probably right. It was that second guy. The glitch has been here from the start. Clearly, cars aren't supposed to jump that high, but it still isn't patched. That's what annoys me the most. Game 60, I got the drum gun and card, but was forced to run away with it. At that point, the smartest thing would probably be to just hide the card and keep the drum gun, but I tried to come back for the vault and got killed. Game 61, I committed suicide again. And game 62, I had the perfect chance to impulse someone off, but died quicker. It would just be nice to drop like a totally remote location for once and not all this madness every time. And you know what? I did. I dropped Rebel's Roost 100 times at the end of chapter 5, and I made it into the top 3 in exactly 1/3 of all games that time. But then I fell behind schedule, slightly, a lot, and I never made that video. There's just so many 100 drops in 100 days I want to do, and they all take so long to make. But now that I think about it, I really should make that video. It's dope. Game 72, I got inspired and planted C4 on the vault door and waited. The keycard guy came, I got him for 120, and then exploded myself in the face with a rocket launcher. That's exactly what I was talking about. The next game I won the Doggpound and then decided to push the first guy I spotted from the chopper. That's what I get. And then I died right off landing with 0 kills 3 times in a row. Nothing unusual, but there wasn't anything less usual to report about. I came on top game 77. I enjoy killing players who can't see me the most, cause it's effortless for me, and they're doubly ass triggered cause they didn't see me. I brushed off an old chapter 2 tactic this game, sitting in a helicopter at max height the entire game. I had to come down to refuel once this time, but other than that, it worked out great. In the top 3, it became a proper end game. I outplayed this guy and almost killed myself with this jump, but I refused to die and made it into a circle while the last guy was nowhere to be seen. I don't know how he got caught up in Storm this badly, but good for me, because I got another Victory Royale. Some vent action game 78. It's fun until you get shot in the back. Look at this chug jug. Yeah, that's super satisfying. Tastes even better if a guy who you just killed dropped it. Then I died, you know, but that's fine. Fortnite is like life. Everybody dies once, and that's fine. Except the winner. That's the annoying grandma that just deliberately refuses to. Pretty much nothing else happened in the remaining games, just death after death after death. And if you're mad at me for skipping through all these games so fast, next time you should try to say something else about 100 games that all basically look the same. In game 97 though, I got 10 kills and ended 3rd in a super stacked lobby, but the recording turned off right after the 2nd kill, so you're just gonna have to believe me that. There's nothing I can do about it. From what I can remember, they were 10 real players as well, no bots. Maybe 1 bot, I don't know, I'm not sure. Game 99, in a last-ditch attempt to get at least 1 more success, I dropped 8 kills at the Doggpound and then got boogie bombed in the back. And game 100, I died 1 last time to end my chapter 2 journey. I hope you enjoyed this one. I forgot to do some replay shots of the Doggpound, which is why there was no intro or outro. And I also forgot to get a thumbnail background, which I wanted to shoot myself even more for, but you know, it is what it is. Next up is chapter 1, the infinite attention glitch for Fortnite. Have a good one, and I'll see you there.